staff recommends approval of the request for an assisted living and personal care home.
Members of the committee have any questions of the administrator? Hearing none, we'll open the public hearing. Everyone who wishes to speak for or against this project, would you please stand? Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the information you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Would you please approach the podium, identify yourself. Thank you. When you're up there, please slip your mask on so we can understand you. State your name and what your position is, please.
Hi, my name is Megan Jacobs. I am the applicant that requested this assisted living room. And the reason why is because it's no assisted living homes within, say, a 38-mile radius. And it's personal for me because my mom passed away in 2012 of Alzheimer's. And my grandmother passed away a couple years ago, so that's what prompted me to say, hey, it's a need for this in our area. All we have is a nursing home, and it's normally always full, so if it is full, we have to go out anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour out to get care for our loved ones, or just anyone in that area if it is full. So to help eliminate that, I wanted to start an assisted living home, hopefully be able to branch out from there, open up more, because the closest one to St. George that I found doing my research was in Bowman, South Carolina. And as you all know, when you have someone you care about, you want to be able to have access to them fairly quickly and be able to check on them on a regular basis when they are in these facilities. So that's the purpose of wanting to establish that. And I wanted to know if you all have any questions.
Anyone have any questions of this petition? How far out of town are you located?
Am I located? Well, I'm back and forth. I currently reside in Georgia.
How about this piece of property?
It's about 5 miles. I would say about 8 minutes out from the town of St. George.
Okay, I see a building that looks like it's encroaching on another piece of property. Is that part of what you're gonna utilize?
That looks to be
You own that property
a
too.
shed. Or is that
Right
what
over
you
there. We just went through this in another scenario, and I don't wanna go through this again.
Right. Well, we own all that land, so it's not
You
necessarily
own the property adjoining that the shed is on also?
correct.
Thank you, ma'am. Good, right answer, okay. Anyone else have any questions?
So tell me a little bit more about who may be intended to stay there, is there any specific group or individual? Tell me a little more about who you anticipate, using the facility.
Right, so the facility is gonna be available to whether it's short-term or long-term care, depending on availability. But it's gonna pertain to elderly as well as those who may be disabled, maybe mental issues, maybe like autism, or just someone who can't maybe function totally independently on their own, but they are independent, so they just need a little bit of help as far as, making sure they have meals, make sure they get to their doctor's appointments if they can't drive, bathing, just any, need that they may have that's not necessarily medical related in terms of needing a nurse. But they just need a little bit of assistance.
They need supervision.
And they need supervision, but they also want independence.
How many employees do you anticipate being on shift at this facility?
So on shift, I will have someone actually staying there. I also have another room in the home so that I can have someone there 24/7 just to oversee everything, make sure they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and that their needs are met. I will also have, of course, and this is another reason to have it, because it'll also be opportunity to provide jobs in an underserved area. So I'll also be having people come to cater, or people coming to relieve the other person. It'll probably be at least 3 people at any given time for different things that may be needed.
Okay. One of the last things, because I know that this has been, this has come up personally, I know people have been affected by this, and it's not an assisted care program, but what safeguards will you have in place so that, because you are close to a road, and I read some letters in here about some buffering and some concerns about that. What do you do to anticipate, not having runners, for lack of better terms?
Okay.
Someone to get out of the house in the middle of the night, maybe be struck or get lost in the community. What kind of safeguards would you have, I guess, internally or staffed, versus if there were a buffer or a fence around the property to actually enclose people from getting out?
Right, well, we do plan to actually, I'm glad you asked that, we do plan to also put up a fence.
Mhm.
We also want to have, of course, ADT or some kind of security system there,
Mhm.
cameras, as well as someone on site.
Mhm.
But the main thing would be to have an actual fence or gate
Mhm.
to help with that security measure.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Any
Yes.
other members have any questions?
One question, this will serve a maximum of 4 people?
For individuals at one given time.
Right, and you said short term being?
It could be, like, for instance, I'll use my mom as an example. Sometime when she would come out of the hospital, if the nursing home wasn't available, they would still require her to have a place to stay for at least 30 days for rehab. Which in that case, someone would come on site to do the rehab, but she needed a place to maybe stay. So that would be short term if it's available. Long term, more so if it's just someone who wants some place to board, but they need help. So it could be someone, say they may be blind, but they just need someone to assist them daily, but they can pretty much function on their own. But they just want to have that independence of living.
That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, sir, do you wish to say anything?
I'm the owner, this is my daughter.
State your name for the record.
My name is Ralph Martino. And the place that we are trying to get, like my wife suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's, and I thought it was a need for the area. And we don't have any urgent care in St. George. We have to travel at least 20 to 30 miles to Fosco. And we will have staff there that are nurses, and we have a registered nurse to give out medication and all that type of stuff. So there's a need, and this is what we want, and we're gonna name it.
Well, I already have, I got a exception, as you all probably see in my application packet. I already have a LLC, Freda Circle Care, that was my mom's name. So I already have, the foreign, certificate to do business in South Carolina.
Anyone have